Okay, so this is the Pegasi Torino, and I was actually surprised to know that this is a sports classic car. I thought it looked like a supercar. Anyway, let's test drive it. Okay, so in case you don't know where to find this car, well, you can't technically buy it, but you can wait till it's available. But you can find us in the salvage yard robberies. It's one of the one of the cars you could get from salvage yard. So yeah, if you want to get this car and you want to keep it, I'd suggest collect the car from salvage yard and just wait for it to become available to keep. Anyway, the car, it performs well. It handles well. I don't think I crashed in that whole run, but and also the car looks good. But yeah, not the only thing that kind of put me off. Not much, but this is nothing really. But I didn't know that it was a sports classic. I thought it was a supercar. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is the Dominator ASP. Let's test drive this thing out. Okay, so the Vapid Dominator ASP is actually a really nice car to drive, but honestly, I'm just not a good driver. Um, Long story short, I crashed obviously, but the car still performs well, it handles well, it brakes well, everything about the car is great, so I honestly would recommend this car, and I not only recommend it because of its looks, this car could look even better if you upgrade it as well. I have my own, and I really like the way I made my car look, to be honest. Let's move on to the next car. To mention, this is also one of the vehicles you can find at the salvage yard robbery. So if you want this car, just collect the car from salvage yard robberies and then just keep it in there until we're able to buy it, you know? Anyway, let's move on to the next car. Okay, this is the Kanjo SJ. Let's test this thing out. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it now. I don't recommend this car for its performance because it's not very fast. It's not very good around corners and stuff like that. But the only reason I'd say go for it is I think it might have some decent upgrades for this car. I don't know, but I think it might. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, and you can find this car at Salvage Yard Robberies. So if you want this car for some bizarre reason, you can go to the Salvage Yard Robberies and wait for it to become buyable. But I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, so now I've got the Paragon R. This car is the prize ride this week. You can win it by placing top 2 for 3 days in a row in the LS Car Meet series, so I'm guessing that just means anything. Anyway, let's test drive this thing out. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it straight up. I would not recommend getting this car, okay? There's a way better version of this car, which is an armored variant, and all you have to do is complete the Miss Baker missions. And that's all you need to do to get the car, for free. So, I honestly would not recommend this car at all. Let's just move straight on to the next one. Now we've got the Typos Rally. This is the podium vehicle this week. So if you guys want to win it, go ahead. And personally, for looks alone, I'd probably get it, but I'm too lazy to try, so I'm just going to test drive this car out instead. Okay, so the Typos Rally. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it can take corners well. I mean, there was only that one crash, but I still don't think this car can take corners very well. But looks alone, I still don't mind the looks of it. Okay, I still would recommend the looks for its looks. So try win it if you can. But yeah, other reasons I'd say no, probably. This car can't really perform very well, so let's move on to the next one. Now we have the Neo. This is a sports car, and this could be found in the LS car meet. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this car's a little bit drifty. Okay, it's a little bit drifty, but the car does perform pretty well. It looks well. My first thoughts when I saw this car was, this is the Morgan. Is this the Morgan or is it something else, you know? But we both know this is the Neo, so let's move on to the next car. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you, this is honestly one of my favorite looking cars in the game. So let's test drive this thing out. This is the Jester. You can find it in the LS car meet. Okay, so Jester, it can perform well, it handles well, and but it looks really dirty, but that can be fixed. I have to say it, I like this car. I still like this car to this day. I would honestly recommend the Jester. Okay? I can't say much more about it. I like the look of this car. I like the way it performs, I like the way it handles. Basically everything about this car is great. Except for the fact that it's dirty. Anyway, let's move on to the next car. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of this car, so I just want to get this over with. This is a Lotus. You can find it in the LS car meet. Let's test drive this thing out. So, I'll give this car credit where it is due. The performance of the car is not bad, but I just don't like the look of the car. Now, the closest resemblance I could give to this car is probably the 811, which got the same back, and I'd say the front is pretty close to it, but I honestly think the 811 looks better than this car. But yeah, let's move on to the next car. We're moving on to the luxury cars now. I have this car, it's in the luxury showroom, but I'm just gonna tell you what I think about this car, okay? Okay, so I don't mind the looks of the car, and I remember driving it once. Okay, I've only driven it like once or something, and that was when it was available in the salvage yard. I didn't mind driving the car, it was actually a pretty good car to drive. But I just don't know how it looks and performs and upgrades and stuff. I can't test drive this, and I don't intend on buying it. So the reason I'm not going to buy it is because of its price tag, and the fact that I could get it for a cheaper price on a different console, you know, makes a difference. So I'm not going to buy this car yet. I'm going to wait till it's available to purchase from the salvage yard, and I think you can get it for cheaper there. So yeah, I'm not buying this car, but I still would recommend it. This is my custom version of the newest car added to GTA Online. You guys will see a video of me upgrading this car and my thoughts and opinions on it and whatnot in the future, but we're going to use it today for this test ride. You know, when it comes to the luxury cars, I really think we should be allowed to test drive them. Alright, I don't see why we can't, you know? Maybe in the next update they might add it in, but if this video gets out there, please share this video. Maybe someone at Rockstar will share it and tell them that we want to be able to test drive these cars, okay? We want to be able to test drive these cars from the luxury showroom, because I feel like those cars should be allowed to be test driven. Anyway, let's move on to the test drive. Okay, so I used to hate SUVs, but this car right here, I really like the look of it when I first saw it. When I first saw it available, I really like the look of the car, and I honestly would recommend it. It's a nice looking car, and I feel like you could get some good upgrades out of it. I would know. Anyway, would I recommend this car? Yes, it handles well, it turns well. I know I crashed at the start, but I don't really care about that. Anyway, let's move on to the next ones, and these ones I'm not looking forward to, but let's just get them on now. Foreigner. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of the look of the car, but we could move on to the test drive. But I am gonna say this: it definitely looks better than the Warrener HKR. Okay, it's definitely better than that. But let's just test drive this car out, see how it performs. Okay, so I'll give it credit where it's due. I don't think it can take corners that bad, but I still don't like the look of it, so I'd say no, probably. So let's just move straight on to the next one. Wolfbane, Western Wolfbane. Let's test drive this thing out. Okay, guys, so no. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now we've got the Ubermensch Xenon convertible. And what I mean by convertible is, yeah. Anyway, let's test drive this thing out. Okay, so what do I think of this car? It's okay. I mean, it's nothing special really. Would I recommend it though? I'm gonna say no, unfortunately. I would not recommend this car. So now we've got the Congo City 5.5. Let's test drive this thing. Okay, the Congo City 5.5 is not very good at taking corners. And it doesn't really look that good either, so I'm just gonna say it right now. Don't get it. Save your money. Let's move on to something else. Look at the final vehicle of the day. Yeah, that's right. This is taking forever to make. Let's get the test drive done. This is the Corvette backfin muscle car, ugly car. Let's move on to the test drive. Okay, so I still stand by what I said about this car being ugly. But still, I'll give it credit where it's due. It does perform okay. It's not the best. I won't admit that because, well, it doesn't. It's a bit drifty and stuff like that. So I'd say avoid it. I'd say avoid this car because it's ugly. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!